Hi everyone, welcome to today's live session on AI built for operations. My name is Kaylee Crothers. I lead the pre-sales engineering team here at Tulip. And in this presentation, I'm going to walk you through a few ways that you can use AI today, right now, to help transform your operations and drive efficiency. So don't wait to ask your questions to the end. Make sure you drop them in the chat as they pop up. And we are going to have a discussion at the end of the presentation where we'll go through them. And we're going to be diving into AI, digital transformation, and what's next for operations. So let's dive in. To get started, let's talk a little bit about what Tulip is and what problems we're solving for manufacturers today. In our industry, digitalization isn't enough anymore. It's easy to end up with 10 tools, each of them solving one part of the puzzle, but without talking to each other or sharing data. That's where Tulip is different. We take a composable platform approach, meaning you're not buying another point solution. Instead, you're building an interconnected system that grows with your needs. With Tulip, you can connect everything: people, machines, systems, to help contextualize your data. This helps your operations actually run better, not just look better on paper. So instead of relying on monolithic, vendor-locked MES systems that we're all familiar with, they have siloed modules, they're slow to update, they're expensive to customize. Tulip empowers your engineers and your IT teams to build, own, and govern an ecosystem of applications and integrations. Apps can be built in Tulip without any code. They can be deployed to the shop floor in minutes and hours. And operators have a clear, interactive interface that collects the data that you need from them and that they need from you in real time. So no code is the key here. It allows your engineers to build and extend apps to map to your processes better and stay ahead. Now let's talk AI. AI is changing everything. We're using it in our personal lives. If your news feed looks anything like mine, there's a new buzzy headline every day, and it's now just starting to show up on the shop floor. But here's the thing, off-the-shelf AI, like ChatGPT, it's not made for manufacturing environments. AI needs context. It needs to understand your machines, your unique processes, your complex workflows. But we also believe that AI should be human-centered. Help your team, augment your team, not just replace them. That means that AI needs to fit into your work. It should also be scalable, ready to use in a manufacturing environment. It should be already embedded into the tools that you're currently using. This can help you prevent, juggling more vendors down the line. And lastly, AI should understand your work. LLMs and AI tools are powerful, but they need to have context from your operations, your machines, your devices, in order to make sure that it's truly valuable. That's where Tulip comes in. Tulip AI is already helping engineers, operations leaders, and just organizations at large help work faster while being safe, secure, and of course, reliable. We're going to jump in and show you a few capabilities of Tulip's AI and how easy it is to get started using it now. So the first AI capability I'm going to talk about is Tulip's newest AI feature, AI Composer. So this tool allows you to take SOPs, work instructions, and manuals, and with just a couple clicks, turn them into interactive applications. So these apps are built without any code, but they're more than just paper on glass. You can add inputs, you can then connect them to devices and other systems. So to start off here, we are going to take an example PDF work instruction right in our Tulip app editor, and instead of clicking Create App, we're going to click Create with AI. So here we're going to upload our PDF that I'm going to select here. So as you can see here, it was able to take our PDF and translate it into a Tulip application. So we're in this content preview window where we can take text that it stripped off the PDF, maybe edit it if I want to change the language. There's also further AI features. So as an example here, let's say there's some instruction I come across that maybe I want to expand on. There's some features here to make this text shorter or simplify it, fix spelling and grammar, or even make it longer. This I'm able to then edit directly over or insert directly into my SOP. So once I have it structured and formatted to the appropriate steps, I'm able to create this application. And now I have a no-code app that took my PDF instructions, turned it into a workflow, and I'm ready to connect devices, integrate to different systems directly in that workflow. So you can see how simple it was for me to just create this application. Tulip AI is helping you democratize app building and empowering teams to create applications that they need without any extra skills. So we covered how AI can help engineers. Now let's take a look at how AI can actually help operators. Within this app, I'm going to show you how another Tulip AI feature, Frontline Copilot, can help operators who are using these apps every day to complete their work. From the back-end view in Tulip, you can see the app, and I can start by selecting a Frontline Copilot widget. Here, I can drag this around my UI and train this on my own data. I have a series of different tables in Tulip that either have data that I'm recording from the shop floor or more definition data. So in this case, we are going to point this chat widget to a table that is holding a series of procedures, so just uploaded PDFs. I can point this widget to that table, click Train, and now this widget is going to be able to reference all of the data and all of the PDFs within that table. To show an example of this, we can actually see what an operator experience would look like interacting with this widget. So if we go to this Procedure Copilot, you can see the series of different PDFs here. So some specs on how to use equipment, whatever it might be, maybe safe to data sheets, whatever the use case. I can take a question, I can prompt it into the widget, and it's going to respond not just with whatever the answer is, but with a cited source on where exactly it got that reference, whether it's a certain page of a PDF or maybe multiple PDFs. So here you can see it gave me my response, and I can even open exactly in those PDFs where it's referencing. So in just a few minutes, I was able to train and build a custom expert on my process and easily add it to all of my apps or HMIs for operators, technicians, or maintenance teams. Frontline Copilot helps save time on repetitive tasks, helps reduce downtime at a station if an issue comes up, and it can really become the first line of defense for your team. Now, let's take a look at another powerful capability, AI Insights. AI Insights lets you interact with your production data using simple, natural language. You don't need to know SQL, you don't need to dig through dashboards, you can just ask questions and get instant answers. So let me show you how this works. Here in Tulip, I've opened up a table of defects. You might have 50 applications across your shop floor, all logging defect data into this table. I can open up the chat interface, where I can prompt it with a simple question. So let's say, show me a Pareto of defect reasons. Here, it's going to analyze this table and not just provide a response, but actually pre-populate the Tulip analytic that would map to my question. So Tulip AI was able to quickly parse the data and return a chart based on my question. I can also refine it more by further interacting with it. Let's say I only wanted to see reasons for this week. Can you filter this to this week? And just like that, we were able to visualize a key KPI without needing to configure any charts or write any code. So this is especially useful for engineers or leaders who want to explore trends or investigate anomalies without waiting on a data team. And most importantly, it's secure. AI Insights only works with the data that you give it access to. By giving you tools to explore data conversationally, Tulip is helping teams uncover insights faster and make decisions with much more confidence. So let's wrap up with where Tulip AI is today and where it's going. So today, Tulip AI includes the tools we just talked about, and more tools like translation functions, being able to connect to external LLMs, and even using OCR or computer vision to help read labels, detect defects, or just guide operators. Most importantly, Tulip AI isn't a separate product. It's embedded across the platform, available to operators, to engineers, to decision makers, right where they need it. So there's no extra setup, no other licenses to manage, no integration pain. The team will be working on extending these capabilities this year, and we are very excited to show you more ways Tulip AI will help your team get work done faster. So with Tulip AI, you're not just adopting AI, you're building with it. Whether you're starting with a single app or you're scaling across an entire enterprise, Tulip makes AI practical, secure, and tailored for operators. So stay tuned. We are now going to transition into a little Q&A session where we'll be able to address the questions that you put in the chat. Okay. Welcome to Q&A, everybody. So before we jump into addressing all the questions that you put in the chat, I want to cover a quick sneak peek of what's coming next. So everything we just covered is Tulip AI today. Customers are actively using it. We're really excited about not only the momentum we're seeing in the space, but the adoption that we've got from our customer base. So up next, you guys can be expecting AI agents. So we're going to be rolling out agentic custom workflows that are going to be accessible through automations. So these kind of more complex AI functions will be able to actually process work in Tulip and process work outside of Tulip. So ERP, think anything through what Tulip refers to as connector functions. So some really exciting use cases for this include process visibility, predictive maintenance, real-time defect or deviation data collection. So an example of what this might look like, let's say you have a defect reported on the line. This agent would be able to potentially categorize that defect, maybe alert, depending on the defect's categorization, who the correct parties are, potentially decide next steps or disposition material, and even go as far as to, let's say, update a work order status to on hold, which might be in an external system like an ERP. So we are super excited about what these AI agents will be able to analyze. It can also start to analyze data on a schedule. So some use cases for that, or value-added points for that, are being able to surface trends, being able to populate and send out a summary of insights. So starting to get away from, you have the traditional dashboard, whether it's on a wall on a TV or your dashboard on your phone that you're always pulling insights from, but really starting to be more proactive about surfacing those. So yeah, very exciting. Stay in the loop. So anyway, let's transition into some of the questions that we had in the chat. So the first question here, what types of documents work best with AI Composer? So as of today, we're really seeing most adoption around work instructions, very text and image-based documents. But not just work instructions, that can also include safety data sheets, really everything in the SOP world. So currently we support PDF and some image formats as well, but we are looking to expand that into Excel documents, Word documents. So think about paper travelers that are in a Word form that have a lot of inputs, or any form of an Excel sheet that you're using, that have inputs as well, being able to translate those inputs directly into Tulip app inputs as well. So it looks like next question here. What is the difference between AI and AI agents? Really good question. So AI agents combine AI models with tools and are a little bit more focused on performing tasks. So not just prompting it and kind of getting a result, but actually taking action on top of that. So technically our Copilot chat widget, AI Composer, AI Insights, those are also example of AI agents. So next question here, how does Tulip ensure AI-generated apps are accurate and secure? The biggest piece here is just keeping humans in the loop. So you saw that through AI Composer, where before you just auto-generate an app and release it to your floor, there's that preview where you're able to edit and format and create a flow that actually makes sense, relevant to your process. On the security piece, we also have in our knowledge base, which is publicly accessible, support.tulip.co, we have a documented list of all of the external services that our various AI functions are using. So that's also part of our trust center. It's all publicly facing. You're just going to want to type in AI security, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that there. That actually leads us into kind of a next question here. Can AI work offline or in restricted environments? So to the offline question, Tulip is a cloud-based platform, so you need an internet connection. So no on the offline side. And in restricted environments, it depends. So we have a fair amount of our customers in aerospace and defense. We host them on AWS GovCloud, which is a secure offering from AWS for ITAR relevant customers, and our AI functions are not available in that environment for security reasons. Next question here, what's the difference between Tulip AI and ChatGPT? Many things. So ChatGPT is all things internet. Tulip AI is all things Tulip data. So it has no access to the outside world. It is trained on all of the data that you have in your tables, whether it's definition data of PDFs that you've chosen to explicitly upload and point, or it's data collected from your shop floor, like that defects table that we went through. How can teams control what data is used in the AI chatbot? The AI chatbot is trained directly on a table. So you, as the engineer, as a process owner, you'll be creating or training that chatbot very dependent to your use case. So if it's for an operator in a certain area who's going to have these, set of instructions, let's say that they need to interact with, or these set of data sheets, you would be training that explicitly on a table and limiting the scope of that data. So kind of circling back to that previous question, not only is it not external like ChatGPT to the internet, but you can decide how tight the scope is of what you give that chatbot access to. How can existing Tulip customers get started with these AI tools? It's probably my favorite question here. Contact your account manager. And it's accessible, like I said, everything we went over today directly in the platform. So those are features that we can talk to you about of how you'd get started using them. And I don't know if we have any other questions. Maybe we can hang on a minute and wait, see if there's anything else that pops up. But if not, thanks so much for the time today. This was great. I hope you guys found this useful. Like I mentioned, a lot of that security content is documented on our knowledge base, as well as kind of further product deep dives on those different features. So it's free, publicly facing, support.tulip.co. Don't hesitate to make your way over there. So thanks so much for the time today.